Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
So, about this episode.
So
About this episode.
today's gonna be rough. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna try to keep it like serious but lighthearted at the same time, because while this is a very serious topic, we also were like, LMAO, like what the fuck, like what else? Like there's nothing else we can do. So do with that information what you will. My name is Jaden, also known as Malibu Peach. What's your name?
My name
Oh, and I'm your co-host, sorry.
I'm your co-host, Emily, also known as Makgeolli. Korean rice wine.
Makgeolli. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Makgeolli.
You're so funny. Oh my god, I love you so much. Well, I'm glad that, is that what you're drinking? You're drinking makgeolli.
Oh yeah, I have that,
Rice?
and then I also have strawberry milk just on the side for moral support, you know?
That's a crazy combination, girl. Like, genuinely wild. I'm drinking the rest of this, so that I've had since you came out here. So, yeah, it's gonna be Caribbean rum with peach liqueur.
We'll be drinking for sure.
Oh, we drinking. Well, I don't have that much. Look, I don't have that much left in this bottle because I've like poured it in other beverages. So like,
I don't have the rest of my bottle with me. I should have just brought it with me.
Yeah.
Should I just grab it now?
No. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I think we'll be okay. If we need to, like.
If I run out, I'm grabbing the rest. I'm grabbing the rest. So let me tell you.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, welcome to this week's episode. This week we are talking about the election, which is really unfortunate. I'm trying to crack my fucking knuckle and it won't crack, and I'm afraid I'm going to break my knuckles and my fingers. Anyways, we are done. It's a time. It's a time. We're gonna. I don't know how, like I feel like I don't know how to do this episode. We're gonna do our intro question really quick, as we usually do. This week's intro question is, what if every time we voted, we had to pick a politician for a month to actually live out our choices? Would we vote differently? And I feel like for me, I think for myself, like in this specific situation where it's like Kamala versus Trump, I know for a fact that I still would not change my decision. Like, I know for a fact I'm not changing my decision, right? If they were like promised, like if like all these promises they made, they had to make those promises. They each got a month in office to like do all the things that they said that they would do. And then we like looked at like the overall economy and like the shits that are happening. Would the general public be better off with or without certain candidates? And I absolutely would say, like, I truly feel like I would not change my motherfucking mind, especially if it has to do with Trump and Kamala. I'm be like, girl, Kamala, honey, you gonna have my vote every day of the motherfucking week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like, genuinely, I think people would, like, see, I think a lot of Trump supporters would see this shit that he was, like, planning and promising. And I think, or at least I would like to think that they'd be like, oh, absolutely the fuck not. We're screwed.
Yeah.
And that they would, I don't know, I guess like that they would change their minds. I would like to think that they would change their minds, especially because the day after the election, like the few days after the election, people's like Google search, like the number one Google search things were like, is like, can I take my vote back?
Can I change my vote?
Can I change my vote? What is a tariff?
I
blah
thought
blah
we
blah.
learned this in
I was
history.
I was like, are y'all
I thought we
morons?
learned this.
Oh my god, it's so bad. Anyways, what do you think?
Baffling.
What do you think? And then we'll really get into it. We'll take our shots really quick. We'll take like a shot of our things and get into it.
Are we talking about like us specifically, or do you think? Are you talking like Americans as a collective would vote differently?
You can do both if you want.
Because like you said, I also would not change my vote because I did vote for Kamala. I would not take that shit back.
She said,
But
I have
I also
priorities.
do think that a lot of people are already feeling the effects of a second Trump administration, and I think they're coming to regret their votes, like you said.
Hmm.
Like, sorry, you can't take it back now. We all have to suffer as a collective because
Because of your
you
fucking
guys
mistake.
didn't go out and do your own research and
Right.
inform yourselves of what could be if you voted this man in office. And that's I think that's just where we're at now. We just have to wait. It's like it feels like we're sitting in ducks, honestly. Like you
And
just
we
have to
really
wait and
are.
see. And with the people he put in office
Girl,
or like
no,
in
we're
his
not gonna get into that yet.
administration,
We're not gonna get into that yet. We can't. I can't. We need to take this shot first before we get into our first real question. Because,
just take it.
girl, what the
It's
fuck?
gonna be
All
a
right.
rough time.
Here's my shot of liqueur. Smells like
Cheers.
peach. Cheers. Arriba. Okay, anyways, I'm not doing the whole thing. I did a lot. Fuck.
That's a big shot. Mm. Pre-gaming our episode. Ooh.
Fuck.
Okay.
Whoa. Fuck.
Honestly, I think for
That
the
bitch is
first,
warm
like the
for
next
some reason.
question, I think we should go with this one first.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I think
Let's do
that's a
it.
better intro.
Okay, so the first question is we're switching shit around as we go right now. Okay, so what went through your mind when that man got reelected? That's exactly what I typed. That man.
Just like I was awake that night to see him get reelected, but actually like waking up the next day and having it solidified. I told both of my parents this. I was like, I've never felt heartbreak like this one. And I spent my
That'll do
entire
it.
day just sobbing. The entire like next few days after that, I just could not stop crying. I was and I still am very scared is my first reaction. It's just fear.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Dude, I feel like it's just I think my initial reaction, the first thoughts that went through my mind, because so I was the opposite, Emily. I did not stay up for the election. I was going to try, but I was so like nauseous, like my stomach was in knots on that lovely Tuesday, November 5th, trying to like stay awake. And I was like, I can't. Like, I like kept checking like on Google, like election results, kept trying to check. And I literally at one point, I was like, I have to go to bed. And I told Emily this. And I tweeted before I went to bed. I was like, I'm going to bed early because I'm nauseous trying to stay up. But when I wake up in the morning, Kamala Harris better be my fucking president. And I woke up the next day and I was like, you know, what if I just don't look at my phone? Like, what if I just live in like ignorant bliss for the next 4 years and pretend I don't know who the president is? I never have to have full confirmation. Somebody could literally be like, president, and I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I never saw the actual results, so I don't know who the president is. That was my plan. That was my plan. And here we are now. I am or when I woke up that day, that was my plan. And then I saw a tweet come through, and they're like, "I can't believe he won." And I was like, "Fuck!" And I literally just sobbed, dude. It was literally so unfortunate. I don't know that I've ever cried like that. I don't think I've ever cried like first thing in the morning, other than like having a fucking migraine, and then I'm like, "Fuck!" Like my head hurts. That's what that low key is what it felt like. I was like, my head hurts already. I was like,
Yeah.
he's been elected for less than 12 hours, and my fucking skull is in pain.
It's just I have like woken up and cried before. I have had my heart broken before. But for me to just cry just at like the drop of a pin, like and not have any control, like not a single ounce of control, I was just like we're fucking cooked. That's what I was thinking,
And
but
we really are. Sorry, I'm eating right now because I'm starving.
I think it's like so hard to not be scared too.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are like telling you like, oh, like don't be scared, like whatever, he can't do XYZ. What
But I'm
like
like, this
we
man is
lived through
so
a Trump
evil and so
administration
hateful.
once, and I'm like, it's so hard to not be scared when you already know that his second term as
Mm-hmm.
president is gonna be 100 times worse than his
And
first.
it's like, even if he doesn't do all the things that he's saying that he's gonna do, even if he like can't do like a ban on like abortions and contraceptives like he wants to do and like all this other stuff, even if he can't get like all the things he wants to do, he's still like going to make our economy a living hell. Like we're literally going to be fighting for our existence the
I
next four
think,
years
yeah.
economically. And like a lot of people are like, which also was so interesting to me, people being like, oh, like I'm voting for the economy. And I'm like, I don't care about the fucking economy, babe. Okay? I'm like, because truly, I'm like, now you screwed us all. Kamala would have had us in check. Okay? We would have been a step in the right direction. Now we're fucking screwed. You motherfuckers are voting, talking about some fucking, oh, I'm voting because I want a bigger tax break. A bigger tax break, babe. You don't make 600,000 a year, so you're not getting to benefit from this. In fact, you're not. Not only are you not benefiting from this, for the next 4 years, you're gonna be fighting for your fucking existence. You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
where the fuck is my money at? Oh, I fucking wonder. I fucking wonder why. Why the fuck are eggs suddenly $10 for a fucking single carton? No, I fucking wonder why. Yeah, yeah. So unless the
Yeah.
fucking like minimum wage is fucking getting raised, like we're all about to be fucking fighting for our fucking lives. Like if everybody's job is about to be paying like $50 a fucking hour,
Not only
girl.
that, not only is the economy argument that these Trump supporters have, not only is it wrong,
Oh no, she
the
disappeared.
man you voted,
She
he
disappeared.
stands for nothing but hate. Like,
Wait, what did you say? Wait, hold on, hold on. It cut out. It cut out.
I said that the man that these people voted in, like, he stands for nothing but hate.
Yeah.
Like, he wants nothing but power and control, and you guys, like, are just giving it to him.
Like y'all literally handed it to him on a silver platter. That's the
Like, he is quite literally a criminal,
a
y'all. Like, he
criminal.
is a
Which, by the
criminal.
way, and then there's like the whole like, and this goes into the next question, which I will ask the next question now, which is, can we truly have a fair election? And I think when it comes to this man, I don't think that there ever is going to be. I don't think that there ever has been and ever will be a fair election. Even if because I think one of his like promises as president was like extend the amount of time that somebody can be president. And I'm like, if like, so that way he can get reelected again. And I'm like, if that's the case, no, we can't have a fair election because as long as he's in office, as long as he's working with billionaires like Elon Musk that have links to being able, like Starlink, and is linked to like shit that has our voting data and like all this other shit, and then Russia coming forward, literally being like, yeah, we like Loki, like literally. I don't know if you saw this, but like Russia literally recently admitted that like they helped this man, like, and I'm like, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I don't think we can ever have a fair election. I don't think we're ever gonna see a day, especially as long as this man is alive, that there's going to be a fair election. Like, and it makes me sad that Kamala like gave up. I feel like it makes me sad that she just was like, okay, like whatever, and like it doesn't feel like she's trying to fight anything at all. When like there's literally so much evidence that people are like, there's voter fraud, there's like all this shit, and you just didn't try. Like you could, we raised $1 billion. What the fuck do you mean, girl? What the fuck do you mean? Uh,
It's
uh,
hard. It's
it's
hard.
insufferable.
It's hard because he has truly also just tarnished like the name or like what elections have meant in America for so long.
Yeah.
Like, when you lose an election, you're supposed to concede.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to essentially lose gracefully, pass
Mm-hmm.
on like your torch to the next
And just being
president.
like, okay, I lost. Like, it is what it is. But
He
like,
has like incited so much hatred and all of this like conspiracy against like the
mhm.
Democratic Party, which led to the insurrection. Just a reminder, the insurrection,
The
January
insurrection,
6th,
January 6th, in case you all
huge,
forgot.
he actually tweeted at his supporters and he was like rally at the Capitol or something is gonna be wild. Like, oh, it was wild. It was, yeah.
Like, they were
Yeah.
trying to lynch the vice president. Like, that is insane. Like, they were trying to kill her. They were trying to kill, like, they were actively looking for Kamala at the time. They were actively looking for AOC and for Ilhan and, like, all, like, a bunch of people within our government, like, higher people in the government. And, like, I will never understand how the fuck people like just were letting that happen. Like, I don't understand like how the fuck this man was not locked up and behind bars. I also don't understand how the fuck a felon was able to run for president again. Cause I'm like, if that's the case, if we just letting felons run for president, honey, that means anybody in prison right now could easily run for president. Like,
Yeah.
or does it only apply to this rich ass white man that we just decided that we weren't gonna fucking arrest and throw in a fucking jail cell? I'm confused. I'm real fucking confused,
He
girl.
really shouldn't even be like able to run for president again
I also
after
feel as
his.
though that I'm like, why are certain like random celebrities allowed to like, because this man is not a politician at all. He's a businessman. Like when he first ran in 2016, we had the same discussion that we were like, this is a businessman.
Yeah.
Why is he running? Like he's just like a regular celebrity. Like he's on like what was that one show? Like that one. It was like celebrity something. Was it Celebrity Big Brother or something like that? It was like some
Um.
stupid ass show, and like he was on it. That's all I fucking
Let me look it
remember.
up.
And I'm like, he's been in Home Alone. He's done all these things, and then on top of that is like
Is it The Apprentice?
The Apprentice. And I'm like, you're just like a
Yeah.
regular celebrity running for fucking president. I remember after he got elected the first time, everybody was like, oh my God, Oprah needs to run. I'm like, no. Why do you guys want random celebrities who don't know how to run an
Like
economy and take care of
real
people?
qualified people who like want to see a change
I'm
in
like,
their government.
you want rich ass people in office. That's what you want. And I don't want that. That's a problem.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my God, the alcohol is hitting already. My head felt heavy for a second. I said, woo!
It's a reality, babe. It's
No.
happening.
Reality is hitting me. It's like, I'm gonna knock the fuck out right now. But yeah, no, I absolutely don't think that we can have a fair election. And then plus, Elon being added to his fucking cabinet. What was his title again? Government.
Oh my God, him
something?
and Vivek Ramaswamy are gonna be leading the Department of Government Efficiency.
And I'm like,
I'm sorry, I don't know about you guys, but the government should be running efficiently without a whole department dedicated to it.
you know what the major issue is with this? Like him giving him government status is the fact that like Elon already has like 20 fucking like cases like on him like for like Tesla for like a bunch of shit. So it's like weird as fuck that this man is suddenly like I don't know. I think genuinely I'm gonna go down like a little conspiracy theory rabbit hole. I genuinely, aside from the fact that like we have enough evidence at this point that like Elon absolutely did fucking interfere, genuinely I feel like Trump is old. Obviously, he's 70 fucking 8. He's the oldest president that we've now had, and I really feel like Elon like played him like he was a fucking pawn. Like I feel like he did exactly what the fuck he needed to do, like including but not limited to voter fraud and like interfering with the election and tampering with the election in many different ways. And like, it genuinely is shocking that like, I'm like, Trump is a fucking idiot. So like, literally there was like moments where like Elon had tweeted something, like Elon had tweeted something about like they're eating pets, and the next day at the fucking debate, Trump was like, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. And I'm like, you're a fucking pawn to this man. Like, he does not care about you. He cares about saving his own fucking ass. He's a billionaire. He's not going to help you. Like, he's going to fucking hang you out to dry in 2.5 seconds after he fucking gets all the fucking clearance that he fucking needs. You're going to promise him all this shit. He's going to help you win the election, and that's it. Like, you're not going to get shit else. So I'm like, I genuinely am like, I want to know what, like, Elon's plan is, I guess, with, like, becoming a government official. Like, what, I want to know what the fuck he hopes to gain from this. I'm so curious. I have to know. I'm like, if he was in front of me right now, I really would ask him. I'd be like, what is it? What the fuck are we doing?
It's
I need to be
funny
prepared.
you're going down that conspiracy because I'm thinking kind of opposite.
Really?
I'm thinking Elon is the puppet master.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I
I'm
thought you were
saying
saying
Trump.
like
No, no, I'm
Trump.
saying Trump is the pawn.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Trump is the pawn, and I think Elon is the puppet master. I think that that's why I
Trump
was saying,
does
like,
not
he
gain
tweeted.
anything from this decision. He has the person barking orders at him
Hmm.
in an official position,
And I feel
which I
like
think he's gonna learn that it's
I
not.
feel like he only did it he because Elon probably like made a promise like, I can make sure you win the election type shit. I feel like it's probably like something along those lines, conspiracy theory wise. I feel like that's something that probably happened. He's like, I can guarantee that you'll win this election, which would make sense, obviously, with the track record of Trump's campaign, where he was like, we don't need any votes. We have enough votes, like whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, we don't need more, which is a weird thing to say during your campaign where you absolutely do need the votes. So it's like weird that you tell people don't vote, and like you didn't seem very worried about this election at all. There's a lot that's going into it. And even if, let's say for funsies, even if let's say that Elon did not tamper with anything at all, I think at the end of the day, Trump knows that this country is like rooted in misogyny, and knew that like, and racism, and knew that like, more than anything, people probably were not going to vote for a woman no matter how much she was trying to help them. Same thing with Hillary. Like, people were not going to vote for Hillary. They weren't going to vote for Kamala because of the fact that they're like misogynist. They're like, a woman can't do this job. Like, what's that fucking argument that people always use? A woman can't do this job. Like, women are too emotional. Like, if she's on her period, she's probably just gonna like launch nukes or some shit like that. Like, that's always been the fucking argument that especially misogynistic ass men use. I'm like, are y'all fucking stupid fucking idiots?
Yeah,
It's
I don't know. It's just the bottom line is this election goes to further prove, because it's already proven the first time,
mhm.
that America would rather have a criminal in office than a woman.
Yeah.
And it's so disheartening. It's so disheartening
America
to
would
see.
rather have a criminal man in office than somebody who genuinely wants to help you and like is like, here's all the things. I'm like, I think the number one thing that genuinely confuses me. I'm like, Kamala was promising like $5,000 like tax credit per child that you had or something like that, plus like $25,000 like $25,000 like loan something whatever for first time home buyers. And I'm like, y'all pass that up. Like, a lot of y'all are now never going to, like, some of y'all are not never going to be able to buy a home in your lifetime, at least for sure, for like the next like 16 years, because like now
The
we're gonna have to
housing
get our
market looks
fucking,
fucking crazy, y'all.
the housing market's trash right now. And plus now with Trump's fucking economy, we're gonna be fucked. So I'm like, if you want to buy a fucking house, save up for the, and you can buy one in 16 years when they're finally at an affordable price, or just save up for the next 4 years when they're also at an affordable price, because we're about to go through Great Depression Part 2, and that's gonna be a fun fucking time. Like, I can't. But you know what? Let me just tell you, I am excited for the Great Depression music. I'm really excited about that because
I can't, not the recession music.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Little baby, where you at?
Like the way that this shit's gonna be so bumping. It's gonna be like in stores. I'm like, oh, on commercials. I'm like, fuck, and then be like, oh wait, I can't afford any of this.
I
I'm
can't.
poor. I'm struggling to make my student loan payments and
Yeah.
all this other shit. Like, what the
All
fuck?
because everyone thought that tariffs
Were a good idea
were
because they
good.
thought that it would help. No, it's gonna help our economy.
Yeah,
Are
because they
y'all
think they
dumb?
think that these big companies are just gonna pay off the
And
tariffs and
and
everything's
that's
gonna
the
be good.
tea.
Like they're not gonna pass it on to consumers and tax you higher.
Which, oh my god, I don't know if you saw this. I saw a conspiracy. So I don't know if you saw this. After the iPhone 16 came out, Apple came out like 2 weeks later saying that they were going to start straying away from the yearly Apple release thing, like a yearly Apple iPhone release, which is interesting timing. Obviously, rich people bump elbows and rub dicks or whatever the fuck rich people do. And they essentially like people are like whoever the current CEO is, I forgot his fucking name, but apparently people are like, I feel like he knew, like he probably like somehow word got back to Trump. He probably was like, I'm not paying a fucking tariff to get a fucking like to get these goddamn batteries, these lithium ion batteries imported so we can put them in these goddamn fucking phones, because then that's just gonna make these fucking phones go from base price for like a base model iPhone from $800, $700, whatever how much it is, up to like $900, and then a pro base model is going to be like minimum $1,300, $1,400. And so people are like, the timing of that seems a little bit weird, and it's almost like you also knew that like Trump was probably going to win. Like you had to have known something too, because for years people have been saying like y'all need to stray away from this. Like you guys just keep putting out the same block. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting, sussy little things that happened leading up to the
Yeah.
election that I was like,
I don't know
looking
anything
back, I'm like,
about. Yeah, we don't know anything for sure, but
we don't know
it's
anything.
just
We just like
I've
conspiracies.
just
We're
been
conspiracies. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I love it. It's so
I've just
fun.
been mourning.
No, for real.
Truly. I've just
I
been
literally have been
mourning.
like, I had a discussion with one of my friends, slash coworkers, and I was like, oh yeah, like she was essentially saying that like she's pro life, or no, she's what is it, pro life, pro choice. She's pro choice, and she's pro choice. She's like, I personally like would not get an abortion. Like I don't think it's something that I could do.
Hmm.
I could not bring myself to do it. Like even if it was in a life saving circumstance, she's like, I would rather me and my child die than like get an abortion. And in my brain at the time, I was like, that's crazy. And I like found myself having this discussion with her, and I almost was like about to like try to convince her to be like, no, like you should want to get an abortion. But then I was like, well, that's your choice. Like, why the fuck am I going to try to convince you to get an abortion? Because at that point that's like the same thing that like pro-lifers do, where they're like, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, why would I
Yeah.
do the same thing? That's so dumb.
Women aren't trying to force abortions down people's throats.
Right.
Women are just wanting the right to make that choice
To
for
make that choice for
themselves.
themselves,
That's
that in
all
a
it is.
situation, if they're fighting, like if it comes to having to save their lives, that they are able to do that, or that in the cases of incest or rape, that they are able to do that. And by the way, like contraceptives, like condoms and birth control are not like like they prevent STDs. So if this
Yeah.
man's like, oh, I'm gonna take, like, he literally wants to take away condoms, and I'm like, bitch, nobody's having sex anymore. We're all done. Okay, no more chlamydia, no more gonorrhea, no more. I don't know what other fucking things there are. No more. There's no more of it, because
Yeah.
bestie, you ruined our lives. You ruined our. Oh, ooh, I
Well,
turned up my gain for a second.
if we're gonna go down this path, I'm gonna go
Go
ahead
down
and
this
ask
path.
you, of all the hateful and terrifying things promised, what fears do you have the most about anything that
Um,
mm, the president elect has promised?
I think there's a few. I think one of the main ones is obviously like women's rights. I know that he said that he would leave it up to the states, but like even that feels very selfish to be like, well, at least I know that I can go back to Colorado, or if I wanted to, I can go to California to get, you know, to go to Planned Parenthood to get, you know, medication like PrEP or whatever, so that way I can do whatever, or get medication for whatever, or this, that, and the other. But that feels very selfish, and so like that's one of the things that I think for the most part is like that's one of my biggest fears is like just women's rights and like the rights that like a lot of people in general, like just the right to a contraceptive and the right to birth control, the right to an abortion and your own body is something that genuinely scares me because I'm like, if something were to happen to any of my siblings, specifically my siblings who are women, I genuinely don't know what the fuck I would do other than like just be extremely angry at the fact that like how could someone be so evil to like take away this thing and expect someone to carry a child full term, and that's assuming that there's no health risks along the way.
Yeah.
That genuinely scares me, and I'm okay with saying this, and I don't know if my sister will ever see this, but like I genuinely like for both my sisters, and I think for both my sisters and my mom, I'm really trying to get. I don't know if you've ever heard of Tiny Protectors, but they're like it's a company. You know Valky Ray. We know Valky Ray. Her podcast co-host for her podcast Press Escape owns a company called Tiny Protectors, and it like she makes like tasers and like just like a lot of like protection things and stuff like that. But like literally, I'm getting like my family members those things because I'm like, unfortunately, for the next 4 years and after that, I don't feel safe with you just like walking around without some form of fucking protection. Like, and that's the scariest thing to me. That and the fact that this man could possibly reverse so many like legalized gay marriages, that genuinely scares me. I'm like, people who've worked so tirelessly and fought for so much, and it's just like reversed by a fucking signature. It's
Yeah.
just so upsetting and so sad.
Yeah. I think pretty much what you said are like the same fears that I have. I think women's rights are definitely it's definitely like at the forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
Because for me personally, I ever since I understood what having a child was or like what building a family meant, I would say probably since I was like 5 when my first brother was born, I have made that a dream of my own to like build and start my own family and just be a mother. I love like I've always loved kids, so I've always like wanted to have like a few of my own, but I think since the results of this election, I kind of had to put that dream down because ultimately I do not feel safe bringing a child into this world if this is the kind of world I would be bringing my child into, like a hateful one, one that like does not respect women and women's rights, or like even one that's just led by such a hateful leader. I just and for my own safety, I would not want to put myself in a situation where I'm dying on a hospital bed and doctors are hesitant to treat me or you know to give me the abortion that I want.
Yeah.
So I just I don't know. Also talk about like immigration and deportation. My parents are immigrants. My dad is actually technically a U.S. citizen not through naturalization, but because my grandfather is American, so he's
Mhm.
just naturally an American citizen. My mom, on the other hand, is a U.S. citizen through naturalization, and one of the main points on Project 2025, and like I think one of the aims for Trump's administration this term is to first like go through and deport all the undocumented
Mhm.
immigrants, and then after that he just goes a level up, which would be denaturalization. So he's
Mhm.
basically going to reverse like all the paperwork that my mom's entire family has
Mhm.
for their US citizenship, and then
Oh, he also wants to like completely just reverse like birthright citizenship,
yeah.
which is like equally as scary
Yeah.
because it's
So
like
it impacts not only like the immigrants themselves, but like all of their children.
yeah,
So
because it's like even if you like came here and you were like, oh, I'm gonna have a kid, so that way I have citizenship. Like
yeah.
suddenly he's like, no, I don't want that, and that's so scary. I don't understand how. I guess I don't get how like someone could be like, this is like how people can be like, America's the greatest country in the world, like constantly speaking about freedom and this, that, and the other, and want to, I guess, destroy every last aspect of what that means. Like, people who are immigrating here are immigrating because of their current home life, like wherever their country is, and they're coming here because they want to build a better life. And for y'all to be like, ew, go back to your country, but then also at the same, like, at simultaneously go to their countries and their land and colonize their land and be like, oh, we just want greater opportunities for our people here
Yeah.
too. Like, you're hypocrites. You're hypocritical ass people. And it's so
So
heartbreaking because it's like you are demonizing groups of people for immigrating here, but then, like, because you're colonizing their land because you have more wealth, it's like, I don't know. It's
it's
so,
completely hypocritical. I mean, the backbone of American society is made up of immigrants.
yeah.
Immigrants are what like at the end of the day like help this country run. And like yeah, what you said, I think about that a lot. Like we were taught in school that this, land of the free,
Mm-hmm.
home of the brave, like
Which is,
all this country strives to do is suppress like oppress marginalized groups. Like for the like entire timeline of American history, that's all it's been.
yeah.
Oppress women, oppress, black people, oppress immigrants, oppress all of these marginalized groups, and it's just been nothing but like a system of hatred for so many years.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's no winners ever. There's never any
Literally,
winners.
there's never a winner.
There's
And
never
it's
any
so,
winners.
I think it just is so mind boggling. But, like, at the same time, isn't completely because I'm like, I guess it makes sense that this man won. Like, that a bunch of hateful people voted for him because they also hate just as much as him. Like, he ran a whole campaign fueled by hate. And I think that that's very scary that people can like. I literally saw a clip clips the other day of like, um, from like Obama running against John McCain and against Mitt Romney and like John like whenever people tried to like be racist towards Barack Obama, they were like he's like no like I don't stand for that like this like that's a great guy right there like
Like,
win or lose like no matter who wins he's like if he wins like this country is in good hands like no
yeah.
matter what even like Mitt Romney being a very like supportive person. And I'm like, that only changing, like, the whole process and like the whole attitude towards elections and the fear that began to be instilled during elections really only started to change when Trump started to run, because of his promise of hate and destruction and tearing families apart. Is like, I don't know, it's like, so it's interesting to me that like one person, like, I know that there's like the ripple effect, but like it's crazy to me that somebody can cause like not just like a ripple in a pond, but like literal fucking tsunamis of just hate
Yeah.
after hate after hate and despair, and like not have any care of what happens after. Like,
He has no care or empathy for like human life. He doesn't
yeah,
care. All he wants is power. And he it's clear that he does anything he can do to get it. And his supporters are just as hateful. Like it's
yeah,
so politics are not where they used to be. They're not it's not civil discussion anymore. It's not civil disagreements. It's like just I mean, I remember the past few debates, like with 2020 and 2016, it was just they looked like
it was like,
jokes. Like in
it was
any
like
election
attacking,
Trump has run in, the debates look like
yeah,
a total freaking joke. There's
like
no
it's,
respect. No one's coherent. Like valid
and that's
points,
the thing too.
facts.
I'm like, I feel like any, like, and it's, I feel like it's definitely one sided too. Like, I feel like, don't get me wrong, there are definitely moments on the Democratic side where, like, or even an independent side where there are not, like,
Yeah.
clear points being made, or, like, things are not being
There
answered
is
the way that they
not
need
a
to be
perfect
answered. But
party.
I think more than anything, especially coming from Trump, like, it's never, like, anything that he's ever responded to has never had any form of clarity or anything like that. And that is a issue. And I feel like when Trump started, like, first started running for president, it literally came less about like wanting to help people and more about just like attacking the character of, one, the Democratic Party, but also the character and image of whoever the main Democratic Party leader was at that time. And obviously at the time it was, for in 2016 it was Hillary Clinton. And like constantly wanted to like throw her under the bus and talk about like, oh, you know, did this and you aren't trustworthy, whatever. And then wanted to do the same thing against Biden, and then tried to do the same thing and did the same thing against Kamala. And it's like, it's just so upsetting. Like that, I'm like, the fact that like people voted for him too, knowing that like this is what he was gonna do, is equally as shocking. Like knowing that people just, I don't know, it's just,
It just feels like a step closer to authoritarian government,
yeah.
which is like I don't know if people were taking the same history classes as I was, but
Oh, I was taking him, girl. I was
not
taking him.
good. I don't know about the
Honey, we
majority of
are,
America though, because I
honey,
don't.
we are scrooty duty right now.
Because it seems like we were taking different. I don't know. We were in different history classes. Me and them. Me and these Trump
Right.
supporters. Because last time I checked, authoritarian government was a thumbs
Yeah.
down. People. It was like.
Thumb down.
It was
Okay.
like
Because I'm like, this man is practically gonna fucking like, I think like one of the biggest fears that, from what I've heard from other people as well as myself, is like, I think one of my biggest fears, as well as from what I've seen, is that this man is gonna like, one, just be like a dictator. He's saying like day one dictatorship and that's it, and I'm like, that's not any better, by the way. Like, whatever. But then like the other fear being like, at the end of his election, if he can't get like the election term extended, that essentially he would call martial law, and like, so that way he doesn't leave office, like, and he's just there and continues to rule over us. And
yeah.
I'm like, it's a very scary, I don't like
It's
that man.
scary,
I
but
hate him.
unfortunately, at this point, all we can do is
I
find
and
out.
I think the
We're gonna
scarier
find
thing
out.
too is knowing that like people that I know, or like just people that we know, voted for him. Like, and
Do
scarier.
not.
That's the scarier thing.
I can't. I cannot. But that
Like,
is our last question. Do you want to
yeah. Our
round
last
this
question
off?
is: have there been any instances since the election where you had to let go of relationships because of difference in political opinion? And the answer is absolutely fucking yes. And I absolutely have no issues doing that. I absolutely have no issues cutting you off and acting like you don't fucking exist because you decided that you wanted to prioritize better taxes over your mom, your sister, your grandmother, your anybody, not even just your friends, even. You decide to prioritize the economy, better taxes
Yeah.
that you don't even fucking get to benefit from over the people, the women in your lives. You decide
Yeah.
to prioritize that bullshit over their rights. And that's a
Yeah.
problem.
And for some context, we actually wrote this question, and the political opinion part is in quotations because
Yes, it
at
is.
this point, it's not even political opinion. You are voting against basic human rights.
Yeah.
Like, it's a difference in morals now, is what it is. We have a difference in morals. And because it's a difference in morals and values, I refuse to have you in any of my spaces. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. Not when you. I know what you stand for now. You stand for what he stands for. You were loud and clear about it. Like there's no room in my life for hate like that. Like,
Yeah.
and you've shown me that you stand for hate. So
Yeah.
sorry,
Like
blood is not thicker than water.
I found out from one of my family members that I'm not going to say who because I don't think he watches this. I don't think any of my family members have seen my podcast other than like my sister maybe and like maybe somebody else in my family. But somebody in my family voted for sure that I know of voted for Trump and then yelled at another one of my family members for not voting for Trump. And
Oh my god.
genuinely, like hearing that, I was like, "Are you a
Are
fucking
you out of your
moron?" Like, are
goddamn
you?
mind?
I was like, "Have you?" I was like,
Me?
"Did we all take crazy pills or something?" Like, I want to know what fucking timeline I jumped to where like this is what the fuck we were doing. Like, this is what the fuck the tea was because I just need to know. I just need to know. Like, there's just no way. Absolutely no fucking way. I don't care. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Cause I'm like, how are you like, yes, absolutely I will be upset at somebody for not caring about other people's rights, but like also how dare you yell at somebody for caring about people's rights? Like, that's such a weird thing to be upset at somebody for. Like, get help.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know. I have let go of four of my relatives, four of my aunts and uncles, because of this. Story time.
Story
Story
time.
time.
She said
Fun
story
one.
time, not clickbait.
So, not clickbait. I did do this, but last weekend it was my baby cousin's 100-day party. Um, a 100-day party is like uh very prominent in Asian traditional culture. I think specifically, we're celebrating like Japan's 100-day party, like traditions. Um, it's supposed to be like very respectful from any family members attending. First
Mhm.
off, and it's just like a little fun family celebration.
A little soiree.
Supposed to be a little. It's happy gathering.
Mhm.
Um. My aunts and uncles started talking about the election. So I have two aunts and two uncles that voted for Trump in this election. One of my aunts is not living in California. Um, she's living in Georgia, so she's not in this discussion. But the three other ones were in that room, and they said some of the most heinous and uneducated things I have ever heard in my entire life. Like, I actually don't care if they see this because I'm done anyways. But my my eldest aunt was basically talking about how it's okay that Trump has like all of these like felonies on his belt or whatever, all of these
Hmm.
crimes because back in the day in kings and queens era, like the kings always had like girls around or like they were like sexually abusing girls all the time. So it's
Hmm.
fine. It's what men in power do. And this is coming from my aunt. So I'm like, "Oh my god. You are a woman.
Yeah.
Why are you speaking
That
so
is like, and
lowly
also
of
I'm like,
yourself?"
the shit that was happening in like olden days, like in like the king and queens type of time. I'm like, that was 200-300 years ago. Why are
I'm like,
we
are we
bringing
forgetting
that
American
up?
history is America was formed by this group of colonists who broke away from the British government because of tariffs.
Yeah. I'm like,
Tariffs.
bitch, we might as well just run back to England. Be like,
Babe,
hey
why
y'all,
are we repeating this shit? Should I start throwing tea into the harbor too or what?
should I start throwing tea
Like,
into
are
the?
we fucking
Can you
kidding
make it
me?
chai? I'm trying to make sure I have something decent to drink when I'm
Like,
swimming
holy
away.
shit. Like,
It's such a
it's so
fucking like,
appalling. And my other uncle was telling me, he was like, or not telling me, but because I was not participating in the discussion, I actually left after very little time of letting them talk whatever incoherent thought they were forming in their mind. But my uncle was like, "Yeah, it's fine. He's a criminal. It's fine."
he's a
Like
criminal. It's okay,
like
girl.
we had an excellent 4 years under Trump. He said excellent.
Are we okay? Are we okay? Were we living in the same
My
country
dad
during
and I
that
were
time?
standing there staring at him like, holy shit, this has to be an
Like,
alternate
you know what's
universe. Like, this can't be real. Are we
my
living in the
favorite
same
thing I
world?
think that Trump supporters always say is they're like, oh, like, especially like black Trump supporters, they're always like, oh, well, like, we got the stimulus checks from this and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, we didn't. I'm like, we got stimulus checks because of Obama. That's why we got stimulus checks in the fucking first place. We inherited Obama's economy. That's why the fucking economy was as good as it fucking was. Okay? It was not because of Trump. He inherited Obama's economy. So I'm like, I just need to know what this logic is. Truly, I need to know what the logic is. But people also being like, well, it's okay that he's a criminal. Me personally, I wouldn't really want a criminal running my fucking country. A business? Maybe. Possibly. Right? I might be like, you know what? Maybe, like, you're really smart. You know how to run a business. Here, do whatever the fuck you gotta do. Don't do anything illegal, please, but do whatever the fuck you gotta do. But a country, babe?
I
Like,
can't, bro.
especially, I'm like, knowing that there's been proof that's come out that this man has raped people, that he has sexually assaulted people, like, that he is a disgusting, grimy, slimy, ugly fucking man, just inside and out. And people still willingly were like, I would rather have a rapist for president than a woman. Are we okay that that's the fucking decision that y'all made?
That's the reality we're living in.
Like,
Yeah, it's
what?
so disappointing.
It's
So yeah,
so ugh,
I did let go of my relationships because of difference in political opinion. I did.
difference in
I
political.
left that party and I did not look back. I looked back once all of those Trump supporter relatives were gone and I spent time with the people who actually care about me and did not vote against my rights.
And did.
Yeah. But I think they're gonna find out. I mean, we've already seen companies are like gearing up for tariffs. Like they're preparing. stocking
Yeah.
up. They're cutting people's bonuses because they're not going to be able to afford paying out, you know, their employees' bonuses because they'll be having to cover the tariffs.
Yeah.
So I've seen a few Trump supporters already talking about that on the internet, saying, "Oh no, I didn't know this is what terrorists meant."
And I'm like, it's almost like maybe you should have did some research before
Well, I
you.
fear you'll find out what they mean. I
I
fear you'll
fear you'll
find out.
find out. I think you're gonna find out pretty soon what a tariff is, and I don't think you're gonna like it. I'm actually certain that you may be a little bit upset when you find out what's gonna
And you'll probably
happen
be
very
forgetting what
soon.
a bonus is for a while.
I'm
Maybe
like, you can forget about
maybe
a
four
bonus. You
years.
can forget about a raise, babe. You can get the promotion. You ain't getting extra money though. Good luck. The job market is about to be fucking trash. So now I'm like,
Which
I
is
need to
great.
secure a job as
I just
quickly as I
graduated.
can. Huh?
I just graduated. No job secured. So I'm feeling great. I'm very stressed nowadays. And
Also,
I don't know.
you know what's really crazy? I know that people gave what's her name, Liz Osborne, whatever Sherry Osborne, whatever her name is, shit for this when he ran for president the first time and won. And she's like, if you deport everybody, who's going to be cleaning your toilets? Donald Trump. And everybody was like, oh, that's not. And I know what she was getting at. Granted, what she said was very insensitive and very racist. But like, I thought about this also when you were talking about this, and you were like literally, like a lot of immigrants are like the backbone of our society. Like they're the reason why we get our fresh produce, and they're the reason why like essentially the jobs that average American citizens don't want to do, that like they pawn it off onto immigrants. So I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, you're deporting all these people, and I'm like, no American wants to do these jobs. No American wants to be on a farm working. No American wants to do this, that, and the other, all these difficult jobs that are like seen as less than, because one, a lot of us are very privileged and have gotten used to this lifestyle of like, oh, I don't need to work. I'm not working at McDonald's. I'm too good for that. I'm too good to work on a farm. I'm too good to do janitorial duties and things like that. And I'm like, y'all, like the same people who voted for Trump, I'm like, I hope y'all know that y'all are going to be the same people who, when like there is mass deportations done, those are the jobs that you will be doing. Like, these are the jobs that will be available at that point, because unfortunately, now, like, a lot of immigrants are the ones who currently occupy those jobs, which by the way is very upsetting and very frustrating and very stupid to me, because I'm like, nobody ever wants to give any like
Yeah.
immigrants a chance in the workforce, and that genuinely always makes me really really sad and mad
I
at the same time.
really do despise this country for being so xenophobic.
Hmm.
Just like people with accents in like the workplaces and academic spaces
Hmm.
suffer way, way more than people who like say don't have an accent.
Yeah.
Just because people will automatically assume that these immigrants or foreign exchange students or people who don't speak the best English will just automatically view them as less intelligent. And
Yeah.
it's like, you guys are so incredibly hateful that you can't even see that immigrants are like, I'm speaking out of like family experience too, because both my parents are immigrants. Immigrants are coming to this country for safety, like
Hmm.
refuge from their home countries, but they're
Hmm.
also just looking for an opportunity.
Exactly.
And I feel like there have been it's been proven time and time again that these immigrants are probably the most hardworking people you'll find.
Yeah.
And they are just looking for an opportunity to build their way up.
Exactly.
Like, I remember
And
when my parents first came, or when my mom first came, her family, they were so poor from like the journey they had to make to America. They were picking cans off the beach, and turning it in for money. And my mom's family was able to build their way up. And it just makes me incredibly sad that so many people in this country who have had the same or similar experience has voted against giving people an opportunity for safety and like a better future. Like, I just don't understand what the logic. There's no logic or reasoning to it, just hate, and it makes me sad to watch that our nation or our country go in that direction.
yeah, it's very, very sad. It's extremely sad.
Especially with the knowledge that we are living off of stolen land.
Yeah. I'm like the knowledge of knowing that we live off of stolen land and
Like, babe, then
land
we
that
should
was
all be
built.
packing our bags. Like,
Right.
every
I'm
single
like
one of us should be packing our bags then.
I'm
But
like
no.
land that is stolen as well was built off the backs of many immigrant people and slavery. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just
It's just so twisted in every single way that you think about it. That's why I that's one of the main reasons why I could not even look my family members in their eyes. I was like, you came to this country as an immigrant. You built
mhm,
your way up from the bottom. We all know this. My like your whole family lived this. Your siblings all have the same experience. So for you to go and vote against every single one of your family members' rights is like insane to me. Insane. These are the people who are supposed to be with you thick and thin. How are you supposed to love like your family unconditionally if they go and do this to you? Like, I just don't think
it's just like not possible.
there's no way I'll never
Because
look
it's
at them
like
the same after this election,
exactly. Because at some point
unfortunately.
it's like that's all. Like at some point that's literally all you see. You're like, you voted my rights away. You voted my
Yeah,
rights
like
away because you only cared about yourself. You cared about yourself, and that was it. Like you
there's
didn't want
nothing
anything
else
else.
for us to say. Like,
Yeah.
there's no words. Like, obviously you can't be convinced. There's no amount of arguments we can have. You especially since they weren't even like hearing
Mm-hmm.
my Democratic family members out. They were just deflecting. It was deflect, 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 and then my Democratic family members or my family members that voted Kamala would be, posing questions like what is your source? What are you expecting from Trump's presidency this time around? That's going to be so great. Like what? And my Trump supporter family members weren't even giving like real answers. They're just deflecting. Like I think I don't even know.
Yeah.
I think some of it comes with being uninformed, but it's like you can't make excuses when information is literally a click away.
Yeah.
I just
Well, let's ask our last question, which is, what one issue is most important to you when voting for political candidates?
um I I'm not gonna say it's an issue. Well, it is an issue, I guess, but I just want um the political candidates that I vote for to have human decency,
Mm,
um, you know, basic respect and care for human life as a whole,
mhm.
and not any specific special group. Don't everyone as a whole, you know, care. Just care about people.
Yeah.
Have empathy. Don't run on hatred. I feel like it's gotten very simple. I feel like those just yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
It sounds so
I feel
simple,
like,
but it's like that's all I'm asking for.
we're like the bar for a presidential candidate or political candidate is in hell. Like the bar, it's bare minimum. It's literally like, because I'm on the same boat where I'm like, don't be an asshole. Like, care about people. Have some empathy, right? Like, the economy is not everything. Like, and also, you can fix the economy while helping people. Like, I'm like, there's so many, I don't know, there's so many things.
Also,
But
I
I
would
think for
love
me,
it if these people did not put climate crisis on the back burner. That
right,
one
I'm like,
is
I'm like, do you know you have 30 minutes?
30
30
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
babe,
I'm
30
like,
minutes,
girl.
but maybe like 4 years instead.
Yeah. I'm
Which
like,
is gonna
we're,
feel like 30 minutes. It's gonna feel like 30 minutes. Or maybe it won't after.
or maybe it won't. Maybe the earth will go up in flames before
Maybe
then.
it'll
Maybe we'll get
feel
lucky.
excruciatingly painful. I suspect it might feel excruciatingly
It's
painful.
gonna be hot as fuck. So, probably.
It's gonna be hot as fuck under a Trump presidency.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna be fighting for our fucking lives, bro.
Double whammy.
Double whammy, Earth hot and a Trump presidency.
Everyone
Absolutely
loses.
not.
The humans
Everyone
and the
loses.
polar bears. Fuck.
Please. Oh my god. Anyways, well,
That was
that is
not
all our
lighthearted at
questions.
all, but
It really, I think
you
we
know,
tried a little bit.
I
I
knew.
definitely was like trying, but I was like, this is like, it's not possible, I don't think. I was like, it's a very tough topic because
Yeah,
this
it's
is the
like
reality.
just got my rights taken away, but hee hee ha ha.
Hee hee ha
Hee
ha.
hee ha
She
ha,
said,
just
hee
got
hee,
my
I don't
rights
have any more
taken.
rights. Mm. She said, I guess I'll just,
On the plus
not do
side,
anything.
Department of Government Efficiency.
On the
Whatever
plus
the
side, bitch,
whatever the
what?
fuck that means.
She said, on the
It
plus
was a
side. Girl,
joke.
are
It
we
was a
looking at the same thing?
joke. It was sarcasm,
You're
babe.
so funny. No, I know. You're just so funny. I
It's
was like, are we
crazy.
viewing the same thing? Oh,
Whatever the
God.
fuck Department of Government Efficiency means. Apparently, it wasn't efficient before,
There was,
but
somebody made a meme. They were like, Donald Trump appoints Leah Michelle as the head of grammar and punctuation. I genuinely, this country's a fucking joke, and I'm so fucking
like the
serious.
names he has thrown out to appoint into his administration is just jarring. Like Stephen Miller, I think is one of them. Stephen Miller, terrifying, terrifying. Tulsi Gabbard, terrifying.
Nick Fuentes, terrifying.
He did not. What do you mean, Nick Fuentes?
Isn't he the one that said, your
Yeah, but
body, our choice?
he didn't get appointed to anything. I don't think.
I know. I'm still just saying he's
Oh,
still a very terrifying human being.
I was like, God, what are you talking about?
God,
Like, what are you
terrifying. No,
talking about? No, yeah, like
please. All right.
Elon
Well,
Musk.
we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And
It felt
we
like more
hope,
of a rant, honestly.
yeah, this very
Our
long
election
rant.
rant.
And we will see you next week with some more lighthearted content.
Like for real, we're
Like
not
for real,
lying this time.
lighthearted, like hella fucking lighthearted, like
We're not lying this
jokes
time.
and games and shit. We're gonna be so lighthearted. You're not even gonna know what the fuck hit you. Okay, it's gonna feel like a completely different podcast. Anyways, we love you. We love you, and we will
Love
see you
you.
in the next.
Thank you for
one.
listening.
Actually, no, thank you for listening. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
all
please
right.
listen.
No, yes, please listen. Which, by the way,
Rub your mouth.
before we end, thank you. Yes, actually, genuinely, thank you for listening because I was looking at like our analytics and stuff, and like hold on, I want to look at it really quick because I genuinely was so proud of us when I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, that's so cool. Like, I was like, we like ate house down, we ate house down, boots slay, pussy house slay. We did
We ate
that.
down.
Hold on.
You haven't even shared the analytics with me.
Oh, I haven't.
I wish there's a way we could see it, like, on a joint.
Okay, so this sounds like not much, but like to me, this is a lot, and I really appreciate it. And I think Emily will appreciate this too. We have 4 followers on Spotify who follow along with our podcast,
Wait.
and then plays per episode 9 on average. Plays from all of our episodes thus far have been 36, and our audience size is 8 currently. And I like saw this the other day when I was like getting stuff ready for this past week's episode, and I literally was like, oh my god, I like hadn't noticed it.
I'm like tearing up. Like, that's so awesome.
Dude, I was sitting in bed like, and I almost started sobbing. I was like, oh my god, like I don't know. I just felt so proud of us, and I was like, oh, look at this.
We love you guys.
We love you. We appreciate you. Also, comment. You guys can leave comments and tell us what you want to see.
I would love that.
And each podcast.
We'll start posting on Instagram.
And if there's like specific people that we know, even family members or whatever, if you're like, let me be on the podcast, like, assuming we like them, assuming we like those family members and friends, we will let them on the podcast. We'd love to.
Yeah, we gotta start having friends on too.
Yes, we gotta get Ryan first. He's so adamant.
God, we should have him pick the theme.
We're gonna let him plan the whole episode.
No, we can't do that. It's gonna go up into flames.
We'll do the beginning and end questions after we see the overall plan, and we'll just let him plan everything else.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh yeah, to be on this podcast, you have to plan it too, babe.
Yeah, you gotta plan it. You gotta plan it, girl. Anyways, all right.
Pay you? No, I'm just kidding.
No, we are not paying you. Sorry, we don't even get paid ourselves. I'm so sorry. We wish we can give you $1.
It's a hobby right now, babe. It's a
hobby.
Help us indulge in our hobby.
Help us indulge in it. Make it our careers. And yeah. Anyways, love yous. We will see you guys.
Stay safe.
Be safe, and we will see you guys next week with light-hearted content. Lots of fun. Lots of energy, more passion. I'm so sorry. All right, this has been Rum Your Valve. I'm your co-host, Jaden, also known as Malibu Peach Liqueur.
And I'm your co-host, Emily, also known as Makoli. Rice wine.
Mako Emily. I really always try to mix your name into things.
Yeah,
it's a bad habit.
I've noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a challenge for me. Anyways, whatever. All right, bye. Make
Bye-bye.
a choice. Peace out. Bye. I'm gonna go drink alcohol. Bye.
Bye.